Hey everyone, welcome to Moreality, your channel for React Native content. Today we're going to be talking about the image component in React Native. First we'll talk about what it is, and then we'll talk about how to use it, and I'll show you a quick example. So first off, what it is it's a React component for displaying different types of images, including network images, static resources, temporary local images, images from a local disk, such as the camera roll, for example. Note that for network and data images, you will need to manually specify the dimensions of your image. And that's what we're going to do today as well in our example. I'll show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and jump into the code. First, we're going to create our image component. So we're going to go to the components folder, right click, new file. We'll call it image component.js. So here we're going to type RNFES, enter for that snippet. And what we're going to do then is go to our App.js file, make a new line here. We're going to use our image component. There it is. We'll hit enter. It'll import it for us. Okay, and now you can see image component being displayed right there. So now the rest of our styling and logic we're going to place in the image component file. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want the user to be able to type something like this, for example. We're going to say size is equal to 150, and it's going to make all of these square. So 150 height by 150 width, or 100 by 100, or whatever you see fit for your example. In this case, we usually do self-closing, but we're going to have a non-self-closing component. And what we pass in between here, the child, will be used as the title for the image, or the caption, you could call it. So we'll just say first image, because we're going to have a few of these, and I'll show you why once we get to that. So what we want to pull in here is we can destruct the size and the children. So the size is going to be used to determine the size of the image displayed on the screen. And then the children is going to be used to display the title for the image. So now what we want to do is we're going to use the view, we're going to use this text. This is going to be for our title. We could go ahead and do that right now, and we could call this children. So now we could see this text right here changed. Before it said image component, now it says first image, which is the text that we passed right here. Okay, so now we're going to need to use the image component from React Native. So go ahead and say this. And it didn't auto import for some reason. There it is. Okay, now we can see up here we have image from React Native. So that's good. A couple things need to be passed here. One is the style. We need to specify the height and width of the image. And also we're going to add a little bit more styling to it. So the idea here that I want to do is similar to a Polaroid picture. I think that'll look kind of cool. So let's go ahead and try that. Height is going to be size. Width is going to be size as well. Okay. So what we want to do here is then in our style sheet down here, we can go ahead and have a style for our container. Then we're going to have a style for our image, and then we're going to have a style for our text. I want this to be on a new line. There we go. Okay, and what we'll do here is we'll say style for the view is going to be styles.container. This we have styles.image right here, and then for the text we're going to have style equals styles.text. Okay, so what we're doing here on line 8 with the style is we're saying we're giving it an array, and the first element in that array is styles.image. So whatever properties we put here, those are going to be styling properties that are used in the image style. And here we're adding to that another object which has height of size and width of size. Now you're probably wondering, why don't we just put the height and size down here, height and width like this. The problem here we run into is that size and children are being passed to the image component here, and we're pulling them through, and they're not being passed down here, so they don't see those values down here. So it's much easier for us to just do some inline styling right here and put it in an array with the other styling that we want to have. Okay, and the other prop that we need here is the source, which is going to be equal to now this could be the link to whatever image you would like. However, there is a site that provides free random photos that you can use for your projects. So there's an image, and every time we refresh we'll get a different image. Okay, so we have our image rendering. What I want to do is I want to put a border around the entire view for this, and then I want to put a border around the image itself, and then I want to center the text and make it bigger so it'll be similar to the look of a Polaroid picture. And then what I want to do for this background is I want to make it a little bit more of a darker white, like a smoky white, and then I want to have the Polaroid be a nice clean white so it pops a little bit. So let's go ahead and work on that styling real quick. So let's do the styling on the text first. So we'll say font size, give it a size of 20, and then I just want to give it some space from the top, maybe like a padding of 10. There we go. Okay, and we're going to align the text using the container. So we'll have both of the objects in the container, or components in the container, will be centered. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say align items to center, and then we can do justify content to center. And then what I want to do here is let's go ahead and put the border around it. So we'll do border color of, not border bottom, there we go. We want the border color to be black, and the border width, which is why we don't see it yet until we put a width of 1. Now maybe black's a little too dark. Let's actually go with gray. There we go. Okay, and let's add some space around the edging of the photo. So we could do that with padding. Let's give it a padding of 5. Looks pretty good. Okay, and then let's see, let's do background color of white. Okay, and let's go to App.js real quick, and I want to change the background color of this to believe it's called smoke white. Nope, it's called white smoke. There we go. There we go. It's a very subtle change. We're gonna add more images to the screen, so it'll make them pop a little bit more. We can do something really drastic, like red, for example, so you could see. There we go. So that's very drastic, a little too much. Okay. All right, so that's let's go ahead and add another image so we could see what's going on here. Okay, so as you can see, these images are touching. I don't necessarily like that. I kind of want to give them a little bit of spacing. So let's go ahead and throw a margin here of, say, 5. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now lastly, around the image, I want to throw a little border around that. It's not necessarily noticeable on this image because it's really dark around the edges, but you'll see a difference in a second. Let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, so here this upper image is a good example. So if I turn this border width off, if I comment it out, now you could see up here that the border was removed. You could tell the difference. So let me go ahead and put the code back in. There you go. Now you could see that edging right there. Okay, I think that looks better. Okay, so we're good with all the styling for our image component. Now let's go back to App.js, and I want to put, say, an image here. So two images, and then one image at the bottom. So to do that, we can put these two images in a view like this, and then we're going to say style, we'll say flex direction, and we're going to say row. There we go. Okay, notice how we have these images have spacing between them. If we remove this margin, now they're close together. So we'll leave that margin in. Okay, and let's do another set of two images like this. We could rename these. Just to show you that this text component does change it for each individual picture. And then maybe we want to have just one separate component at the bottom like that. There we go. And we'll call this the 5th image. Okay, so now we'll go ahead down to the terminal. Quick shortcut for that is Command J if it's not visible to you. And we're going to reload, and we'll see we have all different images here. There we go. So that looks pretty nice. Looks like, 5 Polaroid pictures. So if you wanted to use this style of image component inside any of your app for different screens, maybe you want to have certain images here, there, and you want to keep the same styling, then you can use this custom image component that we created just now to do that. Future follow-on, if you wanted to change, specify the images here, you can add your own URI prop here and throw in the value for the link, and then you can pass that to here and say URI, and then set the URI to URI right here like this. But in this example, I'm just going to keep it simplified, just trying to give you more ideas if there's other things you want to do. And last thing, let's just check to see if we can make them different sizes. So let's make this one 100, and let's make this one 100. There we go. Maybe we want to make this one, say, 175. There we go. So I showed you today how to create a custom image component. We were able to resize our images to whatever size we wanted and put whatever title or caption for the image that we passed. So that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we'll keep continuing on with the next React Native component. If you guys have any questions or comments, please drop a comment down below in the comment section. Feel free to join our Discord server. If you want to get more in touch with us, talk about things in more detail, feel free to join, and we'll talk with you, help you out if you have any problems or stuck or want to do collaborations or anything like that. Feel free to join. And if you like this content, you want to see more, then please like and subscribe so we can continue bringing this great content to you. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you. Bye.